I know, we do have quorum.
Make sure they were working. Hi there, how are you? Hi, Madam Clerk. Hi, Councilman, how are you? Councilman, how are you? Oh, Council President, I'm coming. I called you. Let me run something by you.
Councilman Velez, please join us, sir. We have a quorum, so we could start the meeting. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Councilman.
You ready, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mr. Ming? We on? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Paterson Municipal Council, I welcome you to the regular meeting of the Municipal Council of July 19, 2022. The meeting is now called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call for Municipal Council regular meeting of July 19, 2022 at 7 p.m. Councilman Abdelaziz, Councilwoman Cotton, Councilman Davila,
Present.
Councilman Jackson, Councilman Mendez. Councilman Mims. I am here. Thank you. Councilman Williams,
Present, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
Present, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President.
I'm here, Madam Clerk.
Yes. Mr. President and honorable council members, this evening we have with us to render the prayer Honorable Dr. Lilisa Mims, Councilwoman at Large, and also the Honorable Councilwoman Ruby Ann Cotton, Councilman of the 4th Ward, will lead us in the flag salute. Everyone at this time, please rise for the prayer and the flag salute. Thank you.
The Bible says that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. Let us pray. God our Father, we thank you because this is a day that you have made, and so we rejoice and we are glad in it. God, we thank you because you know everything there is to know about all of us. And God, we are grateful for that because we were created and we were designed and purposed for your glory. So God, we pray for this city as we prophetically call it the city of righteousness. We pray for every person, every employee. We pray for every situation that there will always be a resolution. God, we pray and lift up our mayor, the administration. We lift up all of our department heads, our council members, our secretaries, our clerks. We lift up everyone in this great city because in order for us to do it, we have to do it together. So God, bless this meeting, bless this city, bless our people, bless our going in and coming out. God, and while we're doing it, give us a day to rest as though we have been blessed. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Everyone, please remain standing. We will now have a moment of silence for our troops and those who have lost loved ones. Thank you. Everyone may have a seat.
Mr. President.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
We have an addendum item number 53.
Mr. President, the statement. I'll take the statement first. Yes.
Oh, I'm
I'll
sorry.
take that. Yeah, may I?
I'm
Okay.
moving too fast.
I know. It's okay. I'll take care of it next. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law 2022 to 2023. Meeting date July 19, 2022. Time 7 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law in the following manner. 1. The annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2022 to 2023 on or about July 1, 2022. 2. A schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2022 to 2023 was duly transmitted on or about July 1, 2022 to the North Jersey Herald News, The Record, The Arabic Voice, Italian Voice, Passaic County Pulse, Dominicana News, Cascada International, El Especial, the Paterson Press, the City Post News, and Tap into Paterson, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. 3. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2022 to 2023 was prominently posted in the lobby of City Hall, first floor, in the place reserved for the announcements of this type. 4. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2022 to 2023 was duly filed with the municipal clerk. 5. A copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person who requested and it paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act. Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now we'll take the addendum, item number 53 to be added.
Yes, Mr. President. Honorable Council Member, Mr. President, Honorable Council Members, at this time we have an item to be voted on to the agenda. I think Sophia had handed out item number 53 to be voted on the agenda. The following resolution is also scheduled for your consideration at the regular meeting of the Municipal Council to be held on Tuesday, July 19, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Council Chambers, 155 Market Street, 3rd floor, Paterson. Item to be voted onto the regular meeting agenda is item number 53. And item number 53 reads, Resolution honoring our Paterson Star Athletic Nazir Mule, drafted by the Chicago Cubs, sponsored by Councilman Abdelaziz, Councilwoman Davila, and co-sponsored by the remaining council members. City Council Resolution 22477.
So moved.
Second.
This time we
Moved
have
by
a motion.
Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilman Mendez and Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Motion taken by Councilman Mendez and Councilman Velez. Okay. Roll call to vote item number 53 to the regular meeting agenda. Councilwoman Khan?
Just to add the...
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilwoman Davila?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Udine?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
The vote is 7 in favor, 2 absent. Item number 53 is added to the regular meeting agenda of July 19, 2022.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now I'll take payments of bills for July 19, 2022.
Council President, I motion payment of the summary of disbursements for payment of bills in the amount of $8,755,451.95. There was no payroll this week. If you look at the general government, there's a $3,728,913.58. The other bigger amount also is the sewer utility, which is another $3,266,000. $1,817.53. There was no solid waste in this payment of bills.
Second.
So I make the motion for payment of bills.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilman Velez. Any discussion, any question? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Madam Clerk,
Yes, ma'am.
I need to rescue myself from payment of bills, please.
You have to recuse. Okay, thank you. I think Sophia's gonna lock that door. It's a bit noisy.
Sophia, can you please close the door? Council President, I have...
Yes, okay. Okay.
Roll
Yeah,
call,
it was
Madam
that.
Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call for payment of bills in the amount of $8,755,451.95. Let the record reflect that Councilwoman Cotton recused herself from this payment of bills. Councilwoman Davila?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson? Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Udine?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
The only thing I got to request before my vote to the administration is to see if we could have a big discussion one of these days with the sewer, water commission, whoever it is, that we need to get a plan. The rain that happened yesterday, it flooded all the way around the city. We need to get a plan to take the critical area of the city and address it. Saying that, my vote is yes.
Give Councilman Jackson some time. Councilman Jackson, we're voting on payment of bills, the amount of $8 million.
There is no solid waste.
Yes.
Your vote is yes? Thank you. Mr. President?
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The vote is 7 in favor, 1 absent. Let the record reflect that Councilwoman Cotton recused herself from payment of bills. Therefore, payment of bills is hereby adopted in the amount of $8,755,451.95. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
We'll now open up the public portion, Madam
Yes,
Clerk.
sure, Mr. President. Public portion.
How many speakers do you have?
I'll tell you. We have 12 speakers, Mr. President.
Please call the first speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. The public portion is now open. And our first speaker is Mr. Louis Owner. Louis. And everyone has 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Luis Ona. I live at 22 John Street, Paterson, New Jersey. I have to congratulate all of you for the excellent job you've been doing. I want to salute the Colombian country for the independence this week. And also, I want to thank all of you for your collaboration to celebrate the Peruvian parade. It's coming this 31st of July. We will be marching from Passaic all the way down to the City Hall in Paris. Thank you very much for the attention and all your help. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Next speaker is Mr. Fisher, Mark Fisher. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Fisher, 79 Montgomery Street, 4th Ward. I'd first like to say thank you. I said it to you already, but I'm saying to you in front of everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the 3 candidates who made it for at large. I appreciate you, and I'm still here to work with you. You know that, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm here, I'm dressed in my uniform, as you can see, because I am the new appointed lead of the MRC for Paterson's MRC, which is the Medical Reserve Corps, through Tabitha Mealy Johnson at the Board of Health. And we need you. We need Paterson. We need the City Council to become volunteers for the Medical Reserve Corps. Now you may say, well, it's medical. I have no medical background. You need no medical background to be a volunteer. What that entails is when it's hot outside, we have cooling stations. We help man that. If it's cold outside, we have warming centers. We go and help them man that. when we had the pandemic, we were at International High School. Many of you were there. You saw me working with the crisis that we went through. And it's just giving back. So we need nurses, retirees, council people, everybody, anybody can be an MRC volunteer. I don't understand why our administration, past and present, have not jumped on this more. We shouldn't have to wait for Red Cross or somebody else to come in Paterson. We can govern ourselves. We can help ourselves. So please contact Tabitha Mealy at the Board of Health, and she will definitely give you exactly what you need, all the paperwork and everything. And speaking of the Board of Health, my football team, the Sharks, we also are volunteers with the Medical Reserve Corps. And the Silk City Sharks, we've been around for 5 years. We are shutting down operations this year to build up a better championship team with more sponsors, because I lost a lot of sponsorship with COVID. A lot of companies just didn't have it. One of our major contributors, God rest his soul, Mr. G, people like that, we just don't have the finances to put on a good product this year. So we're shutting down operations, and we hope to, let me not say hope. We will come back with a championship for Paterson at the new Hinchcliffe Stadium when that opens up. So I'm putting that out there. Also, the Sharks, we're going to be fundraising. So you'll see Silk City Sharks, you'll see the Cash App, Silk City Sharks, and you can donate. And our first activity for Paterson, we're doing Jazz by the Falls, August 5th from 6 to 10, and August 6th from 6 to 10. It's not going to be in the park of the Falls. It's going to be with our parking authority. Thank you, Tony Perez, for the parking authority, 39 Montgomery Street. That's where it's going to be. It's going to be great. We have jazz.
Where, Tom? Montgomery?
Yeah, McBride Ave. I said Governor Street? Montgomery, that's why I live. And in closing, sorry, thank you, up by the falls. It's right by the falls. So we're going to have food trucks and everything out there, vendors. I just want you to come out. It's totally free. So we take in will donations when we get there. We'll talk about that. But I just want to let everybody know I stick to my promise. I said I'm going to bring back jazz to the falls because we don't have the we don't have the MUA anymore. So I'm doing it on my own. So I'm asking everybody to contact me to help me. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Next-
Everyone, please be mindful of the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Giovanni De Jesus, please state your name, the address for the record, and everyone needs to allow 3 minutes. Giovanni.
Good evening, Council. Good evening, everybody.
Good
Could I
evening.
give my wife, my name is Giovanni De Jesus. I'm going to give my wife, Crystal Garcia, my time, please.
Good evening to all in attendance. So I want to give you guys a little bit of information. We come here, the family, to seek justice for Felix. Like I said before, do not tell us how to grieve, what are we allowed to do, and don't try to stop us from our First Amendment like it was tried weeks ago in this same chambers. Okay? Another thing is, the letter, corporate counsel that you gave us, you were better off giving us a blank piece of paper. You know that as a civil attorney. Okay? First of all, no one even proofread the letter where there's misspells within the letter. Damn shame, whoever wrote the letter. Now, the case, we don't need this case out of Heldon. We need Heldon to continue to take care of the missing persons, and we need Paterson to wrap up this damn IA investigations that they continue to say that is under investigation. Between these fine lines, this grieving family has a right to know where do we stand in this investigation. Where do we stand? How are these officers still on duty that did wrong the day that Felix went missing, corporate counsel? I need to know how much money is being wasted into this investigation that they continue to hold between fine lines under investigation. I don't need the IA investigation wrapped up out of this case because Jackson is on this team. I'm not worried about Jackson. I'm worried about his mother being a dispatcher, his father, his stepfather being a judge, and many more conflicts of interest. That's what I'm worried about. These officers are being covered up, and it's a shame. They're here to protect and serve us civilians. That's what the city of Paterson, I don't know if on their application somewhere it states for corruption to be able to be approved for a city job, because the level of corruption in Paterson is getting worse. We got a council president now that was recently vice president, and now they made him president, but he's also the second ward councilman that did shit for this family where Felix went missing in his ward. Now you want to put $8,000 to $10,000 into a damn park and state that there's no cameras, there's nothing. You have a high school there. So you mean that you don't care about these Paterson children? Enough is enough with the jokes already. The level of corruption, look at our prosecutor that we have, with her racy photographs all over throughout her county, and all these damn other elected officials that want this prosecutor out. The same prosecutor that defamed a medical examiner's career background to say that Jameek Lowry didn't die from blunt force trauma. Was to say these officers weren't there waiting for Felix. I don't care that they state that 5 people saw them. Them 5 people mean nothing. Nothing. You know why? We're tired. You can't have a regular meeting anymore. This family can't sleep at night.
Please
I
wrap
don't
it
know
up.
how you guys sleep at night.
Please wrap
In
it up.
closing, we're going to continue to demand justice for Felix. We know that you don't care for the city. That's why you're in the seat.
Please don't yell from the other side.
I'm speaking today. I'm talking very loud. I want to make sure you hear it. Because y'all don't hear me. I'm not screaming. I'm talking very loud. I don't need the damn mic. Enough is enough already. You can shut it off.
Mic is off.
Yeah, it's been on.
Yeah, I turn it off. Yes, yes. We heard you.
Council.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Next speaker is Ms. Cristel Garcia.
One second, please. Are they allowed to pass the time? Corporation Council?
Wait, one, Council President? Council President?
Yes, go ahead.
All my paper trail with me. And don't say that nowhere in the damn rights. Enough is enough. You're going to stop playing with the people. This is our house, goddammit.
Council President?
Yes,
I'm
Madam.
done with it today. Done. And the little lieutenant that you guys sent over when we had our rally last time, that's a shame. It's not fair.
Corporation Council?
Lieutenant that gave orders for Felix to be dropped off in the park. We're nowhere near in the Attorney General guidelines. It states that.
She's
They should have been fired already, damn it. They should have been fired with pay until this so-called investigation is done. Now, can I please put me on hold?
Hold. Corporation Council.
Yes, Council President.
Are they allowed to pass the time to each other?
My understanding is that they are not allowed to pass the time. Whoever signs up is permitted. They're allotted 3 minutes to speak. And if someone signs up, they're certainly allowed their 3 minutes. But the passing of time to give someone else 6, 9, 10, whatever minutes, my understanding is that the council.
Please, I'm trying to get an explanation. I'm trying to. Are you gonna talk over us? You want?
Council President?
You guys are being
Council President.
disrespectful. I haven't.
There needs to be a point of order, Council President.
I haven't said a word. You the one who's screaming out there. Okay, she's not the council president anymore.
We have a council president.
She's not the council president anymore.
Council President,
Okay,
may
go ahead. Go
I've
ahead.
asked for the floor. If I could, to the family for a moment, please, and I'm respectfully asking that there be, I'm sorry, I cannot speak if you guys are speaking. Just give me a moment, all right? So I address the council president. Just so you know, there is an ordinance in place and there is an amendment. So we're not making this up. That's what council, you can have a copy of it. Absolutely, it's in our books. Yes, you, Please, Ms. Garcia, I'm trying to speak, okay? So just so you know, and last week, all right, when your husband also sees his time, okay, I stated then.
Now is my time. That already happened. He should have asked that question before he let me speak.
Okay,
It's
so,
my time now. Now I'm gonna take
okay,
his
let
time.
us, it is up to, okay.
Please, no profanity here. Please, just respect each other. I haven't disrespected you.
You disrespected us when we came. You don't want that person.
Council President, we understand that.
President,
the
I-
Council President,
Hold on one second, Councilman Velez. Councilman Jackson.
There ain't no more time.
Councilman Jackson.
So, Councilman
It's all fire for that ass.
Council
Once
Pre-
again, please, no profanity. Please.
So, Council President, and to the family, there is in fact an ordinance that this council most recently had amended, which prohibits.
no,
No,
2
no, no, it
years.
was
Let's
over
be
a year
clear.
ago.
Sorry,
no.
can I
Let me be clear.
can I have the floor when I have the floor?
So use the language the right way, Councilman.
What are you
You're
talking
stirring
about?
more the pot. It was not recently.
Councilman,
It was not
Councilman.
recently.
Point of
Councilmember,
order,
please.
Councilman Jackson has the floor.
Council member, please, let's not talk over each other. Whenever someone has a floor, give them respect and let them speak. Please, Councilman Jackson.
So once again, this council, every member here outside of Councilman Udine was present. It was recent. It was recently amended to prevent certain members from being able to, of the public, to be able to prevent certain members from the public from passing time. So there is, I'm sorry, there is an ordinance in place. But, Council President, with all due respect, you allowed it to happen last week. You cannot pick and choose when a person is coming to the floor to have something that's agreeable with members of the council and allow for the practice to take place. And then, once the person comes here and has a disdain, make a different ruling. If there has to be some type of consistency, and it's been allowed all the time. You can't pick and choose when certain members come to the microphone and they're only allowed 3 minutes, and then other members of the public are being given concessions to 5 minutes. How are we picking and choosing who are we allowing to go on for 5 minutes? How are we picking and choosing who are we allowing to pass the time? If we're going to create a process that's going to be clear, transparent, and fair to all members of the public, it has to be that. So I'm just putting my opinion on the floor. I understand there is an ordinance in place, but it's been allowed over and over again. It was allowed last week, the week before, and it was just allowed the other day. I mean, just a moment ago. He said clearly, I'm passing my time, and it wasn't until she came forward with, her indifference.
So, Council President.
Council President, may I?
Hold on. Let me speak. Councilman Jackson, you made some good points. There is the ordinance in place. I wasn't aware of it. That's why I asked. That's why I asked the Corporation Council. Okay, but it's under my discretion, correct?
So, Council President, I wanted to
Correct?
finish, because,
Councilman?
Council President, I wanted
ahead.
to finish my statement when I started saying, so first I have to make a correction. This didn't just happen. This happened 3 years ago. Okay, and that ordinance has been in place for maybe over 35, 40 years. There was an amendment made to it, yes. No, so the Council President does have the discretion to extend time, okay, or to allow it. All right, and so that's what I wanted to just put on record. But no, this was not just done. Okay, this has been a few years, and it was an amendment to the ordinance, not a new ordinance in place.
Council President, may I?
Yes, Corporation Council.
Thank you for the floor. So for the council's edification as well as the public, section 5-20 of our code, which says rules of procedure governing conduct, of council meetings, section 520I states that manner of addressing council, time limits. 1, each person addressing council shall A, step up to the microphone in front of the rail, B, give the name and address and speak in a moderate tone of voice, C, unless further or lesser time is granted by the council, be limited to 3 minutes of speech. For the purposes of this section, no time balance from any one person may be relinquished to any other person. And I will note for the council president and the council that our code was amended in 2013 last, and prior to that, it indicates it was amended in 2006. Thank you.
Corporation Council, it has to be another date. No, that's not the right date. That's not the right date.
Okay.
Council President.
Council President, I'm just stating,
Councilman Velez?
Thank you, Council President. Okay, so with all the respect to the family, this is what I think we should do. And Council President, I think it would be the wise to go this way because it will be healthy to all of us. The gentleman yielded his time to his sister, or wife. Sorry if I get it confused, right? Then the name that was called to the polo to speak was her name, so it's her time to speak. So let her finish speaking. Now, hold on, please. So I know you're gonna start, and your time is gonna be on her. So from this point on, all right, and from this point on, the rules was called in place. In the past, probably was not bringing into attention because we was being probably lenient to have you guys vent out your feelings, right? Hold on. But then last week, I recall when it was called for the attention, but we all sit back because we don't want to interfere in the emotion that you guys going through. So that's why it went through the way it was. But this was not placed on order because you guys are coming in here. This was placed about 2-3 years ago, the amendment. But you're gonna speak. We wanna move forward. Yes, we wanna move forward, and I will, Council President, please let him finish and move forward, and then we can finish the public portion.
Thank you, Councilman
I got the
Velez.
letter, yeah, I got the letter.
Council President.
Okay, Councilman Jackson. After this speaker, one second. Everyone, can I have everyone's attention, please? After this speaker, we'll go by the rules and the ordinance from now on. Okay? Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Council President.
Council President, we want to move forward with the public portion, please.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. It's Crystal Garcia's turn.
Ms. Garcia, 168 days and counting. This past Saturday, July 16, 2022, North Jersey reported a story titled, Police Unions Vote No Confidence in Passaic County Prosecutor Camila Valdez, Call for Her Resignation. And I quote, in a stunning revoke of Passaic County's top law enforcement officer, representatives of police unions throughout the county have lodged a vote of no confidence in longtime Prosecutor Camila Valdez and demanded her to immediate resignation. According to an open letter written by the County PBA's conference and obtained Friday by the Record in North Jersey, in the 2-page letter, conference members say Valdez has ineffectively staffed her office, devoted resources to investigating her own officers while neglecting actual criminal investigations, and demonstrated little concern for the effective administration of her duties. This is who we have as our main prosecutor. Unquote. Let me be clear. This news is well understood by the De Jesus family. We wholeheartedly agree that these police unions, when they state that Valdez has and is neglecting her duties when it comes to the criminal investigation, such as the Felix De Jesus disappearance case and the IA investigations into the 2 Paterson rookie police officers that did many violations of established police policies and procedures to include the proper operation of police body cams. There have been no suspensions or disciplinary actions since Felix's disappearance against these two officers on February 2nd, 2022. There has been zero action to date. She has failed in her duties to keep the family abreast of any updates for the past 5.5 months on our case, with the exception of releasing the 4-minute body cam video only because she was forced by a lawsuit and a judge's order. Additionally, according to a news report from North Jersey released on 26th of April, this is the same woman who is being sued by a former staffer of the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office. The staffer claimed he was retaliated against for not processing a disc that contained racy photographs of the prosecutor, Camila Valdez, and her husband, according to the lawsuit. Is that appropriate to conduct for a state prosecutor? Where are her ethics? Is this our mayor's vision when he claims that he wants to attract quality talent to Paterson? Paterson deserves better. We demand that Ms. Valdez resign her position as the Passaic County prosecutor. We call upon the acting New Jersey Attorney General, Matt Plankin, to step in and resolve this matter. If she refuses to resign, it's pretty pathetic when Passaic County's top law enforcement officer loses the support of her police unions and they themselves are calling her for resignation due to her own incompetence. The community as a whole, along with the police unions, have lost trust and confidence in her ability to fulfill her duties as a county prosecutor that she swore to protect and serve and deliver justice for all. In closing, due to the fact that this investigation has been mishandled by the Paterson Police Department and the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office since day one, we adamantly request that the FBI called in to take over the Felix de Jesus disappearance case and the IA investigation. Additionally, to all conflicts of interest that have been uncovered in recent weeks, and many, many more. We already gave you the whole investigation. We're not going to continue to give you the investigation. 2 law enforcement agencies cannot provide us nor the community a fair and complete investigation with pre-justice. Thank you.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Next speaker, Joanna de Jesus. Please state your name and address. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Giovanna Cruz, with Giovanna de Jesus Cruz. I'm here tonight. It is my first night here, and I can say that it's a disgrace and it's a shame. I'm 41 years old, and I've been a Paterson resident for many years. And all I can see that Paterson daily is going down. I had to move out with my children. But today I'm here, not for me, not for none of you guys. The ones that are playing on your phone, that's very disrespectful, Mr. Jackson. While you're sitting there, my family's crying, you're texting. Give us the acknowledgement we deserve. Enough is enough. You guys all sit there. I tuned from my house because I can't be here present. I'm a single mom, struggling and having to deal with the missing disappearance of my brother. And you guys sit there and I watch you through the YouTube channels, through their videos, how you guys don't give us the respect and the acknowledgement that my mother needs and deserves. It's a shame that some of you are Hispanic and sit there and don't think about my brother when you go home with your family. My brother was taken by Paterson Police Department. There's no need for me to repeat the history, the story. It's 5 months, you guys are aware of this, you hear it every day. My sister-in-law comes here every day. I scream through my camera when I see her. I scream because I see how you guys don't care about her pain. My brother's pain, my mother's pain, my niece and my nephew. This is not about us, guys. This is about my niece and my nephew. I cried every night for their parents. Think about your children if you disappeared and nobody cared. Think about it, because today is this family and many more that haven't been able to come up here, afraid, because many don't have papers, many can't come up here, afraid of you guys. But we, the community, you guys are here for us, right? So why is it that we come here week after week, my family, pleading to you guys, pleading, please, we want answers. We want answers. Why is Paterson Police Department being covered? We went multiple times there and they lied to us. If you don't do nothing, then why are you hiding, right? Because if you don't have nothing to hide, you'll show your face. Where's those 2 cops that took my brother that night, that was there to protect and serve? They got paid to protect and serve. They swore to protect and serve. They wasn't there to do that night. On the coldest night, my brother didn't have a coat. He didn't have anything. The instructor was to take any person that was in the streets to a shelter, correct? Why didn't they take my brother? It was a cold blue night. You guys know that. Imagine your son or your daughter outside in the streets, intoxicated with mental illness. And you guys, your people that's there to protect and serve them, pick them up, and then they disappear him. Because I believe the Paterson Police Department took my brother and disappeared my brother. And that's what I want to say. And I just want to ask you guys that please, have a heart. Think about your family. Give us the attention we need. Give us the acknowledgement we need. My mother doesn't sleep or eat at night. My brother can't take care of his family. Their kids, you think they don't cry for their dad? His birthday just passed. This is horrible, guys. You're accountable. Somebody needs to be held accountable for this, and you're in charge. And you need to be trained. Because obviously you don't know. Your people here knows more than you. Somebody needs to give you a job description, and I do apologize for saying that. But you're far away. I apologize. You're far away from, he's reading the wrong law, whatever. She's not agreeing. She knows more than you, and she thinks she knows everything. She don't know shit. I'm sorry about that. But that's all I want to say, and
Yes,
I just
Mr.
want you guys
President.
to
Next speaker, Mr.
give the respect that my family
Mr.
needs,
Teague.
and we want answers. Enough is enough.
Yes, Corey Teague, 65 Prince Street, Paterson, New Jersey. Real quick, had the opportunity to talk to my uncle. My uncle is Alfred Sally Sr. If you don't know that name, you can look it up. He was a white-collar crime detective for the city of New York. He is retired now. He was also a personal assistant to Mayor Ed Koch when he was the mayor then. You can look up his name. His name is Alfred Sally Sr. And he showed me a lot of the stuff that I've shown him and the information that I've given him about what's going on in this particular case. He said somebody should have been fired by now. Those officers should have been put out there by now, and this should have been handled a long time ago. There's also retired detectives from Paterson PD who reach out to me to tell me this is not right. So if you guys at 111 think that everybody's quiet, there is no blue wall anymore. Those retired detectives are reaching out to me, and they're telling me that this stuff is not right. And they're also telling me stuff that's going on at 111 Broadway that's been going on for decades, that goes way beyond this. How many homeless people, right? Because Felix wasn't homeless, but how many homeless people were brutalized and killed and thrown away or taken to the medical examiner's office and left there as a Jane Doe? How many people were probably brutalized and murdered by the police department, and then they wrote up in the report, this person died of a drug overdose, and labeled them as a Jane Doe or a John Doe and left them in the morgue? Can we do an investigation on how long this has taken place? Because there's no way, based on what happened with Felix, it tells me one of two things. One, that they're used to doing this to people, or two, that they feel like they can get away with it. And right now, it seems like both of those options are true, because nobody's being held accountable. Dr. King wrote a letter almost 60 years ago, and the gist of it was, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. He wrote that letter in the Birmingham jail after he participated in a demonstration, okay, against what was going on in Birmingham at the time. And he wrote that letter not to the public, he wrote that letter to the preachers, because the preachers were trying to criticize him for being at that rally and for standing up for justice. It was his fellow clergymen that gave him the hardest time and gave him the hardest way to go, because he wanted to stand up for justice. Speaking of letters, I'm sorry, that letter they just submitted, this letter has absolutely no merit. You guys left out the police brutality. You left out the fact that he complained that his arm and his hand felt that it was broken. You left out the fact that he was arrested by them, he was intoxicated, and the officer claimed that he told them to leave them down there by the river, leave them on Front Street. There's a lot of this. This is what you call a smokescreen. They want to shift everything on to Councilman Jackson. They want to shift everything to him, and they want to make this about him. He's not going to be the scapegoat for this city. This ain't got nothing to do with Mike Jackson. This has something to do with a corrupt police department, and the city better do something about it, or we're not going to have any more money as taxpayers because this city's going to get sued up the ass. Trust me.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Next speaker is Mr. Abdul Ali. Next speaker, Mr. Abdul Ali.
I've been in this city for 67 years, so you don't need my address. And this, you know, this society done turned into a Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. And for you Muslims that's making history, in the Quran, Shaitan said, I'm gonna make everything right wrong and everything wrong right. And we seeing it right now. And the mayor, check this out, Juneteenth, stand in front of the city hall, talking about knowledge is power. But then he said something that's very enlightening. Knowledge of self is more powerful. So we as African Americans better get busy. Now, this drug thing that you got. Now, I remember 30, 40 years ago, if you had an ounce of drugs, they'd send you to jail. Anybody remember that? Now you legalize it. That's some wrong stuff you do. Then our children is going to be affected by that. Y'all don't know that? Why can't the mayor and Ms. Schaefer sit down and say, let's come up with a knowledgeable program of addiction in the schoolhouse so our children can at least have a choice. When you don't have a choice, you become addicted to some stuff that will kill you voluntarily. I'm going to say another thing to you. Back in the 80s, we used to get these 4 Sunday hookups with Imam W.D. Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with him, and grant him paradise. You know what he said back in the 80s? America is losing her morals. Today, we are in a totality of moral decay. This country and this city is in a demoralized state. Now, I'm going to give you a good example of that. Back in the days, men couldn't be married men, and women couldn't be married women. And for you Muslims, there's a word called fatuma. I think I pronounced it right. F-A-T-U-W-W-A. You know what it means? Cultivating moral consciousness. And every generation that come up, it seems like we lost that. And I had it when I was coming up. Because when I did wrong, that belt was doing what it needed to do to put me in check. In 1985, when diapers came out with the rule, don't discipline your child, this is where we at right now. A decayed city. And Mr. Andre, since you want to raise, won't you raise the moral culture of this city? Clifton don't have this problem. Turnwell don't have this problem. Wayne don't have this problem. Why? Because their moral structure is in order. So since you want to raise the morality of this city. And also your consciousness. I wish Abdul was here, but I need to ask you this question. Alabama Projects, or New Heritage. Who, and I know they zoned it, from 33rd, from 23rd over 80, is that the 6th ward? That's your ward. Now, we got some dirt down there by the wreck. That dirt been there 11 years. We got skunks, raccoons, fox, possums, everybody, and we got children out here. And check it out, ain't no fence around there. So who's responsible for it? The Howland Authority or Penrose? Let's get with this. This is some serious business here, Aki. And the moment they hold up, baby girl, I love you. I hold you I love you. Take it easy. Take it easy. You give other individuals that's in your favor or doing what you want to do a lot of time. Come on, don't play with me. Audu Belair. Don't even try that. Because I know he gave you a solo. I seen that on YouTube. Singing to you. I said, what kind of mess is this?
Please wrap it up, Mr. Ali.
And I need, no, hold on. What I'm talking about is the corruption that's going on. Politics creates strained bedfellows. And all of y'all, some of y'all are in there. And you African Americans up here, we better get something going on because they trying to take us out of here.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Next speaker is Mr. Rucker. Mr. Rucker.
Ernest Rucker, Paterson, New Jersey. I haven't been here in a while, but there is something that is bothering me, and it's the fact of the lack of enough affordable housing. The average Paterson resident in this city makes about $34,000 per year.
Less.
Okay, or less. 30% of that is what the federal government states you have for your rent. Where do you expect people to live on $30,000 with no affordable housing? Now, I understand some of the argument, because I used to stand here and argue myself about abatements. But the thing that I think we're missing in this whole picture is, even the federal government tells you, unless the city is involved in the process, affordable housing will not be built. Everyone does not own a home. And this is not like years ago when we was crying about abatements. Now we have rateables on the books. Rateables. We've had more money in the last couple of years than we've ever had in this city. But yet, we are running away from affordable housing for those people that need it. The real shame of this is this. Some of us are fortunate enough not to worry about that 30% for living. We have some dollars, we own properties, we make good livings. But those that are not making that good living, and many of them work for the city of Paterson, your secretaries, your Board of Public Works, your cops are making $34,000. We need affordable housing in the city, and we cannot look at these pilot programs and say we're not going to allow a pilot to come through because it's the word abatement. These pilots that we have now are not like the old abatements of yesterday, where you got 30 years and then you was happy. These pilot programs generate cash for the city, and as it gets older, you receive more money from these properties. I went and visited a few wards this week. Not one ward that I go into told me that they were not worried about a family member or a friend that could not afford to pay rent. The Fifth Ave projects that's been re-renovated, the waiting list on that filled up in 2 days for those affordable housing. We have to stop the game of our personal, just in closing, our personal feelings, and not look at the people that we say that we're here to protect, the people that we say that we want to do better, the people that we say we want them to act a different way in this city. Well, if I don't have a place to live, there's, on Governor Street, three-bedroom apartment, 3 families living there to pay the rent. 3 families. This council, I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you, learn more about affordable housing. Understand, no developer is going to build affordable housing in your city without some type of play from the city. It's not going to happen. But again, some of you guys, including me, don't have to worry about that 30% of your income for housing because you're making a nice dollar and you're living well. Let's help these people who cannot afford rents, who are living on top of each other in these apartments. And Council President, and truly closing, I want to congratulate you, and as well as the Vice President, on your term in office, but I'm asking you, do more research on affordable housing.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Next speaker, Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Council, I got a couple of things to talk about. One of them, I want to make linkage to what he just said about the people living on top of each other and the overcrowded conditions in this city, which is plentiful. As the former director of housing, I know what I'm talking about. I've asked and pleaded numerous times for the mapping, the plotting of the 672 persons that have died over COVID. Where did they live? Plot it out on a map so we can see the high density areas where quarantine isn't available. They're living in conditions of overcrowding, and it's not fair, not to the neighbors and or the people in the rest of the city. 672 people, untold thousands infected. So that needs to be addressed. Secondly, I want to talk about the placing of the council members on the Economic Development and Finance Committee chairs and positions. There appears to be, and again, I give deference to you, Council President, it's your prerogative to put who you want where you want. You do whatever you want, but it doesn't look right. If you have the same people on ED and then pass off to finance without the benefit of other people to be able to do the workshop process, because you're a little bit more structured now in terms of what's this and what's that and trying to stay within the lines. I see what you're doing. The fact of the matter is those conversations and information and discourse needs to be had. You don't not put people on because you don't like them or you didn't get along with them or there's no Morena, as has been said in the campaign. We're not going for that. That's not right. We need to include people, even though you don't like them, to be there to speak for the people. And it's not right. We want to know, with all of the pay-to-play and other instances of developers pouring money into these 501c4s that don't have to be reported for campaign contributions, we need some level of accountability and integrity in the processing of developers' projects, millions and millions of dollars, untold millions coming through, and there's no discourse. You pass ED, you go to finance, the same people that passed it in ED is passing it at finance. That's not right. There's something wrong, and if you don't see something wrong with that, there's something wrong with you. We have to go the extra mile and measure to ensure the integrity of the process and that the people's business is being taken care of, not just for those that are gaining financially in the process. Thank you.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Wahida Mohammed.
In God's name, good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, I want to say to you, Council President, because at the last meeting and when you were chosen as the president, my first thought was they want you there because they feel like they can control you. And I said to myself, Lord, I pray that that's not the reason. But I'm going to tell you, when I got this list of assignments for these committees, that proved to me that that was the reason they put you there. Because you're not going to tell me and insult my intelligence and say that this was not by design. That you got one person over these two vital committees, and they have chosen to have the same exact people on both of those committees. And to leave out the other people that are over those at-large people that need to be on those committees to bring that message to the people, because your chairperson decides what's going to be told. And if you don't see that, then I don't know what it is that you are seeing, because even the blindest person see that that's not right. And I want to say to you, Councilwoman at Large Mims, I neglected to say to you at the last meeting that I'm thankful that God prepared a table before you in the presence of your enemies and made sure that you were back on that council to take care of your people. And I want all of you to understand that's what we expect you to do. Highest vote getter. So that proves that your God said, that's where I want you. And it wasn't because somebody said, I want like-minded people on my team. Because God says what your mind should be. And I want you to understand, all of you, that we see what's happening. Councilman Uden, we're counting on you because you said you were there for the people. And I'm going to tell you, I don't have a problem calling any of you out anywhere when that's not happening. Because when I look at what you are doing or not doing, it makes me ill. Now I want to go, Council President, through the chair to the BA. I want you to explain to me what the new payment system is, because we have been told every time we ask about the funding for the nonprofits, we're told that you all have established a new payment system where now someone else decides when we will get that money and how it's being done. So I want to know exactly what that is and when the purchase orders are going out, because we're told that's what's being held up to get whatever it is that we need to get. So I need to know that. Council President, can she answer that?
End of the public portion, she could answer it.
Oh, you're gonna make me stay here until then?
I mean, that's how it's been, ma'am. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr.
please.
President. The next speaker, Mr. Elvis Durham. Elvis?
Mr. Elvis Durham, 4th Ward, 283 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey. Before I get started to do my announcements, just want to say thank you to the councils that came to the grand open of Smoking Crab and Seafood. Councilwoman Will Cotton of the 4th Ward, Dr. Lisa Mims, Councilman of the 5th Ward, Louis Velez. Thank you for recognizing me. I was the very first one starting to promote Smoking Crab and Seafood. I was the very first one. When everybody was laughing at me in the back while I was speaking, I was promoting Smoking Crab and Seafood inside Center City Mall on 301 Main Street, downtown Paterson, New Jersey. I also want to continue to promote it. I welcome y'all to come and support this Smoking Crab and Seafood inside the mall. Center City Mall is on a comeback, y'all. Like it or not. You don't have to support it, but you're going to go in there because you're going to have to respect it. I got some announcements. We got Silk City Salts and Fisher for Paterson Jazz by the Great Falls of New Jersey. That's August 5th. That's August 5th and August 6th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. 32 Mabrav Ave. That's 32 MCBRIDE Ave in Paterson, New Jersey. Okay? Also, that Sunday, August 7th, we have a gospel concert in Paterson, New Jersey that everybody is welcome to come. It's not all about one race. It's about for the whole city of Paterson. A gospel concert, and it's going to be at 186 6th Ave off of River Street at 5 p.m. That's Sunday, August 7th, 5 p.m. It's an open door free will donation featuring White Wolf. Also, special guest Dennis Watley, and Faithful. Also, Redeemed Fellowship Center presents a White Affair Gospel Summer Jam. White Affair means you wear all white. That's Sunday, August 14, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. at Redeemed Fellowship Center. That's my home church. At 4:30 p.m. at Redeemed Fellowship Center, 292 North 8th Street, Prospect Park, New Jersey. Okay? For more information, you could contact me at 862-823-3895. I will be in concert. So I hope Paterson, 25,000 people is watching. Paterson people, come out and support me. I will be in concert. Churchman. Also, gospel singer Nakia Fields and many more will be in concert. God bless you. Good night.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Last but not least is Miss Eva Razak. Miss Eva? She here? Oh, yeah, she's here.
Good evening, Eva Razak,
Good
Third
evening.
Ward. Mr. Mendez, I came to ask a question, but you're going to give me an answer, right, on what I want to ask regarding the speed bump? Give it to us. What? Up to the public portion? Okay, well, anyway, on this behalf that I'm here, while I'm here, listening to everybody's comments and everyone coming here every Tuesday and having their concerns and people being very aware of the things that are happening in the city, I need to say this to the council members. If you council members and also city officials here on this end, if you guys are not being mindful of what the people in Paterson are saying, you guys are in for a rude awakening, because people are no longer being quiet. People are complaining. People are tired of being lied to. People are noticing that their wards are, other people are moving in from different towns and they're destroying our town. The things that happen, and we don't want to be pinpointing different ethnic diversity here in the city of Paterson, or you did this or you did this, but we need to be mindful. And these apartments, I've said it again, the Section 8, who's getting them? Who's paying to get them? Who's sleeping with who? Who's doing what? Guys, be mindful. We don't want to keep coming up here to disrespect anybody, but we feel in the city of Paterson that we're getting slapped in our face. When people come up here and they're discussing their issues, they're discussing their concerns. And I don't mean to be funny, ladies and gentlemen, on your end there, sometimes you guys stay quiet and they feel like it's a slap in the face. Say something. Say something. I go home and I sit back and I look at this thing, I'm like, oh, Dios mío. Like you feel, like you're really serious? Like, let's be mindful. And here it is. We have the De Jesus family once again here. These people, they're yearning. They're hurting. The mom, the whole family. It could be your family. It could be my family. We all in it together. Please, let's be mindful. Let's share. Let's care. If one ward has more than the other, let's tell the other ward here, this is what we can do. We're screwing ourselves, guys. The city's going down. The mayor, listen, Mayor, Eva Razak is telling you, get yourself on point. You wanted to be elected. You're a mayor again. Get your pants on right and let's handle what we need to handle. The city's going down. The citizens are tired. People are tired. You go to food pantries to pick up food sometimes because you don't have enough. And I'm one of them. And I'm not embarrassed to say it because I'm not stealing. I'm asking. So come on, gentlemen. There's enough money in this city to go by, because the money that keeps getting poured in to clean this, to that street, to this and this, where's it going? It ain't going to us. Please, please, once again, and this family, once again, with the De Jesus, let's be mindful. Let's all try to jump in and try to just bring the light on the subject. Whichever way it is, bring light. Also, please, once again, be mindful of your wards. Listen to the concerns of your wards, and let's not choose, well, I don't like that one in that ward, or I don't like that one in that ward because they got a big mouth. Guess what? You damn right I got a big mouth, because I care. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful and a blessed evening. And let's all stick together, and please, let's bring this family some light. God bless, and thank you, Mr. Mendez, for trying to get that working. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
guys.
President, there's no one else on the public portion.
Can I have-
Have a
Move to close.
Second.
Move to close by Councilman Velez, and second by Councilman Mendez. Roll call, please.
No, there's a name that was scribbled, baby, it was me at the beginning. They didn't- No, that was my name.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Somebody wrote on top.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call to close the public portion.
Yes. Madam Clerk has the list. There is no, Madam Clerk has the list. There is no more name on that list. You have any? Yes. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll
Council
call to
President.
close the public portion.
Member of the public says she made a mistake and scribbled someone's name off. She,
It was my fault. I came to ask something, and Mr. Mendez addressed something to me, and I said, okay, shut it off.
By mistake.
Okay, Madam Clerk, do you have another name there? Do you have another name there, Madam Clerk?
No, there's, Mr. President, somebody erased somebody's name, but it looked like this was Eva's name. And she scratched, somebody crossed it out, and then Eva signed up the
Eva,
next
hold on.
page.
They got
So I don't see any other name on here.
Yeah, so she's supposed to speak. It was a
That was
mistake.
that was her name and Ms. Mohammed.
Okay, I'll let her speak.
Yeah.
So who's the next speaker?
She has something that she scribbled herself.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little bit upset because, as y'all can see, I'm not really all up to par to be here. I come from a long way. Felix is my compadre. I don't know how the hell to say that in English, but his daughter is my goddaughter. Okay, we received a letter from corporate counsel. Corporate counsel, whoever typed up this letter, first of all, is so grammatically wrong. Number one. Number two, you signed off on it, so you're illiterate just as well as the person that wrote it. Because I would never sign off on something like this, okay? Now, now the letter states, in case y'all don't know, because y'all all are included in this letter, okay, the letter states, Dear Prosecutor Musella, I hope this correspondence finds you well. I am writing at the request of the Honorable Municipal Council regarding the Felix de Jesus matter. By way of background, makes no sense. Mr. de Jesus has been missing since February of this year. This missing person investigation has been handled by the Halden, his town of residence. The municipal council believes that there may be an appearance of conflict of interest regarding the investigation into the disappearance of Mr. De Jesus in light of the fact that one of the officers who interacted with him is related to a sitting councilman. Okay, so why did you not mention the mama that's a dispatcher? Why it's not in this letter? You signed off on this letter. Okay, let me continue. Based upon the foregoing, the Municipal Council respectfully requests that the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office take over the investigation related to the disappearance of Mr. De Jesus. The Municipal Council thanks you for your cooperation. And it says, CC, all members of the Honorable Municipal Council, City Clerk Sonia Gordon, and First Assistant Corporate Counsel Dominic Stampone. Okay, so where is the information? Why y'all caught my mic? Oh, all right, don't do that, because I'm nice, but y'all don't want to mean me. Why y'all, just because Mr. Jackson said that he was related to old dude, why y'all pinning it all on him? He ain't the only one that's related to old dude. The judge is. The mama's the damn dispatcher. Who's to say the mama didn't tell him, yo?
The mother deleted the transmission records that weren't supposed to be sealed on the IA.
Yeah, that too.
IA investigation. Damn, Mama. Damn, I hit it again.
Why? Why they delete that? That's another thing. Why did they delete that?
It's been deleted when it was supposed to be sealed. I thought it was an IA investigation. 10 days after, it was all supposed to be sealed.
Yep.
How did it get deleted?
Why? Because the corruption that's going on within the inside of the police department. How? How they do that? Why they do
I got the
that?
catalyst from February and there was no calls. How you got one now? How? Where? How? Where?
And every time we come here, there's no explanation. Y'all just, you know, you're on your phone. She left. She's always on her phone. You know, it's disrespectful. We want, you know, your attention. Just like, you know, y'all want our votes. Thank God I don't live in Paterson, but you know.
There's going to be an accountability for this road police department. There is. Mark our words.
Can I have a motion?
Move to close.
Move to close by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Mendez. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call to close the public portion of the regular meeting of July 19, 2022. Councilwoman Khan?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
So first and foremost, with regard to the letter, I don't have an issue with the Corporation Council writing that the council is requesting for it to be moved on my account. I mean, I made it publicly clear. Well, not publicly. I went to the family directly when the first moment I found out that it was my cousin involved in this situation. But I didn't know it was the consensus of the council to move this issue because of the fact that I was related to him. Normally, I thought it would be a practice. Corporation Council, that we all at least have an opportunity to sign off and approve of the letter if it is the consensus of the council. But I don't know if it was the consensus of the council president to move it on our behalf. And I know it was sent via email. It was probably an oversight. I didn't see it. Just like the letter that I've written to council president hasn't been answered to, which I sent to you as well. I sent to every council member as well. So, I mean, I understand there's opportunities for oversight, but I don't have an issue. I think that it's probably, if it's in his best interest to move it so the family or whomever can find justice, I think that that's appropriate. But what I do take issue with is the manner in which us as a community, as a municipality, as a council, to be quite honest with you, are responding. Like just our regular everyday tone, our demeanor. Well, it's my privilege. I get to say, I make the decision. We are here to work on behalf of the people. And if we're not doing the job on behalf of the people, we can't humble ourselves enough just to see what the concerns and the issues of the people are, then I think we're in the wrong space. Because when I walk upstairs to see that we have 2 officers inside, 1 officer outside, I sent the request, Corporation Counsel, Madam BA, I sent the request not just to Deputy Chief, I sent the request requesting why and who requested for officers to be present during our workshop, and now we have multiple officers here. I mean, the family, maybe they have been conducted themselves in a fashion of which some people may not be happy or comfortable with. Maybe their discourse or them being upset makes some people uncomfortable. But does that warrant us taking another officer off the road and having them sit here all night long? Does it warrant the bullying tactics? Because just the fact that you have another officer, they already have an issue with the PD, and now you have another officer there, and it just...
Councilman, we always had officers.
When do we always have 3 officers? Why are you interrupting me, Council President, first of all?
No, because...
And when do we always have 3 officers?
No.
When?
Councilman.
When do we always have 3 officers?
Misinforming the public.
So explain to me what I'm misinforming the public on.
You should look at, I mean, we could talk about it on Saturday.
No, we could talk about it right now.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
You decided to interrupt me.
We're here to...
We can talk about it right now.
We're here to do... Excuse me, let us speak.
When have we had 3 officers? You want to give me the dates?
We're here to do city business. okay?
That is city business.
Okay. It is
The
city
public coming to
So,
the microphone
none of the
is city
Council
business.
President, point of order.
One second, let me
So
speak.
don't fall in his games.
second.
Let him
No,
finish
no.
his statement,
It
and then
seem
you
like
come
these
back and talk
council
to him.
Listen,
members
my
are
man.
not- What have you
You got a
done?
game.
First of all-
You got a
What have you
game, my
done
man.
for
Don't
the
direct
family? It
me,
seems
man.
like you're the only
Got a
one
game with the
doing
people, man.
things for the community, things for these people. What can you do from your position?
Yeah, man.
Tell me. Well, what have you done? What have you done? What can you do?
Council President, point of order. Council President,
Here, come on, please.
Council President, point of order. Council President,
Go ahead, Councilman.
we are on the
So-
closing of the public portion. He could finish
As a
his statement,
council
and that's
member,
it.
What can you do? Come on, please, come on, please. There's, go ahead, Council. Go ahead, Councilman. Go ahead. See what he started? See what he started, Councilman? Go ahead, Councilman.
So now, so now, so now let's see what I started. He decides to speak over me, interrupts me as I have the floor.
Because you are misinforming the people. There have always been officers here. Every week you come up with the same thing over and over. There's been officers in the city chambers all the time, Councilman. You know it. You know it.
So first of all, let me tell you what I've done, since you want to ask me what I've done. First of all, I'm not intimidated by the family. I don't have no problem with being around them, regardless of what condition they're in. That's the first thing. Secondly,
So what? So
why
there you go again.
are you continuously
There you go
interrupting me?
So you
Point
believe
of
in the
order,
word, you
Council
believe in the-
President. Why are you continuously interrupting me? The chair does not give you the ability to interrupt me this way, Council President. Please, compose yourself. Compose yourself.
Council President, you have the authority. He has 2 minutes to close the public portion. He disobeying the
That
order.
is not true, Councilman
Okay?
Velez. We
So
are
if
in
they
a-
want the show, they can continue
Councilman
the show.
Velez is not true.
Councilman, you want to talk?
My friend, I'm talking Council President. Don't worry, I'm talking to Council President.
Councilman, but go ahead. Please go, Councilman.
He just won the show. He just won the show. He just won the show. Go ahead.
Councilman Velez, please. Please don't yelling. Please. Please don't yelling. Please stop yelling.
I got it.
Go ahead.
I just want to finish what the Joker had to say.
So once again, before I was so rudely interrupted, which I'm normally, I get tagged, right, with being disrespectful all the time, but I'm always, I try my best to stay within the confines of why we're here. And that is incorrect. That is not me misinforming the public. For years, even Councilman Velez sent forward memos with regard to the workshops being covered by constables. We never had police officers here for the workshop. If you heard what I said, I requested, why were we having armed police officers here for the workshop? Now tonight, my request or my ask is, why do we have 2 armed officers inside with the deputy chief, who I know is probably here for an agenda item, and another officer outside, possibly with other units outside circling the building? So please, don't try to make it seem like I have this a legitimate request. I don't do those types of things. And what else have I done? One, yes, my first cousin was involved with the matter. Have not dealt with him, spoke with him, because he has his own issues to deal with. I've been to the family's house. I don't have any issue. Not one of them has any discourse with me. I don't have any issues. And I'm not the one requesting for police officers to be here because I'm intimidated by them being here, and my cousin was involved in the whole thing. So that's what I've done. I've been honest and transparent with them. I didn't walk myself over here the way Councilman Velez did and whisper in your ear that they can't pass the time and then get on the microphone and say, oh, no, we're going to let you go ahead and speak. Exactly.
Point of order, point of order, Council President.
Exactly.
Point of order, Council President.
So those are the facts. Those are the facts. So once again,
Can you wrap it up?
so once again,
Everyone, please be quiet. Can you stop, please?
What?
Can you stop, please?
What?
Can you stop, please?
so once again,
Can
Council
you-
President. I'm sorry.
What you
Guys,
said?
give me a moment to finish. So once again, Council President, my official request through the chair, Council President, my official request, Corporation Counsel, Madam BA, I am once again officially requesting, why do we have armed officers arming the workshop? Who requested that? Is it a request by the Council President? Is it a request by a council member? Why? Why do we have that? I'm entitled to understand. I'm entitled to request whatever I want to know, whether you claim I'm misinforming the public or not. This council has never had armed officers covering the workshop sessions. Just council has never had barricades around City Hall, but when Jameek Lowry's family was here,
Can you please
we had
wrap
it
up?
then as well.
Please
So, Madam
don't
Clerk,
speak from that side,
my
please.
vote,
Yes, Councilman Jackson.
my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Mendez, we're closing the public portion. Your vote, sir.
Please stop yelling.
Councilman Mendez.
Please stop yelling. Councilman Mendez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome, sir.
Just allow me for a minute to the Feli de Jesus family. Just look at the monitor, right? We're in TV, we're live on YouTube. But let me just finish. I know you're powerful. I love your energy. And I just want to say this. Just give me 1 minute. Just leave it on the side that people are afraid to the Feli de Jesus family, because we all live in Paterson. So there's no, we're not afraid to, when I hear that, it's really, it's really bothering me. But what I'm going to say to the Feli de Jesus family is, listen, this is the people's house. You got the power to use that mic for hours if you want to. Let me just finish. You could bring as many people from the community, because guess what, Paterson, we feeling your pain. Don't think that because you say that, listen, every time, let me just, if you allow me to finish, and this is my only recommendation, we ask Corporation Counsel, every time you guys coming into the front of the mic, we ask him, can you give us an update? What can we do? We're a legislator. What can we do? Personally, myself, when you guys come here, I put you guys on my Instagram. We try to find a way to help you and to stay with you. And I'm going to tell you, Paterson is behind you. Don't think that you are alone in this fight, because let me tell you, every time I see you here, it really breaks my heart that, listen, over 100 days and we have no answer. I'm praying that we get an answer soon about what happened with Feli de Jesus. We all praying for that. My only advice to all of you is that, listen, you could bring 100 people lining up, but trust me, listen, we are with you. You're not alone in this fight. Trust me, you're not. Just use the time wisely. Bring as many people as you can, but do things the right way. I don't know what happened, but listen, I'm praying God, listen to this, I'm praying God that we find a solution soon to this mess that we're in, that this city is in, because this is a big mess. What happened with Feli de Jesus is a mess, it's an embarrassment, and the whole state is watching Paterson. The whole country is watching what happened here. It's a mess. All right? So don't think that, I don't know personally, I'm a legislator, I'm sitting right here, And the only thing that I could do is legislate locally and ask Corporation Council about an answer. Give me an answer, follow up, call the state, call whoever you need to call. That's my authority. But don't believe that you're not alone in this fight. It's an embarrassment for me to sit here and see you every week after week with no solution. I don't know what is the timeline, the time window for an investigation at the state level. Let me just finish. And at the end of the public portion, I want to ask Corporation Council to just brief the community, because listen, we live and people are watching. Brief the community about the time window that this investigation is going to take for us to know what happened with Felix de Jesus. So in closing, family, listen, you're not alone. You're not alone in this fight. But let's do things the right way. You could line as many people as you want. Just keep fighting. Just listen. All right. So listen. That was my.
Please wrap it up, Councilman.
That was my recommendation. Okay. So
can you please let's not go back and forth.
And listen, and I hear you. And listen, in closing, this is the people's house. You guys not alone, and that mic is open to the public. That's all I'm gonna say to all of you. Don't feel that we're blocking you. Don't feel that for some reason. I know I love you. I love your energy. That's the people. This is the people's house. That mic is open for the public. So don't feel that you guys being blocked. You could come here as many, and we all want justice, and we pray for that to happen soon, because as I mentioned before, it's an embarrassment from the city of Paterson and for the whole state. You know, just with that being said, Council President, just allow me to answer Eva's speed hump. Finally, we got the ordinance done. We've been working, Councilman Velez and myself, we've been working very in collaboration with Corporation Council. We're going to have that on a workshop next week. Speeding is a big problem. You know, I put the speed limit clock, and your block people don't respect that. They flying through our just neighborhood. So a speed bump is going to help us to control the traffic, the speeding citywide. So I'm looking forward to have that discussion. But we have a great discussion at the DPW committee meeting. With the Chairman Velez and Corporation Council, we have it together. So I'm looking forward to have that discussion with all of you. Also, Mr. Abdul, I know he left, but let me just say to him, listen, he spoke about the empty lot that we have in the third ward in Heritage Place. And the reality is that Penrose, he dropped the ball. A lot of the problem that happened here is when we vote on a project, once we vote, that's the only power that we have. After we vote, they're in charge, and they got the funding, and they could do whatever they want. There was an agreement with the Paterson Public School and Penn's Road to build a early childhood center on the third one, that section. Never happened. We have the empty lot full of raccoon and all kind of animals. I met with Irma Goran and the director of Penn's Road, and they promised me that they're gonna build a playground on that section. Because if you go to Heritage Place, there's nothing for our children on that community to do. We don't have any playground. We don't have any area where they could play. You see our children running around Heritage Place, and we have so many family, and they build that community, and there's no playground. There's nothing on that section. So to his answer, I met with Irma Goran and the director of Penrose, and he told me that he got the funding to build a playground. So I'm working on that. I know Mr. Roque is around here. I'm looking forward to have that conversation with him. He knows how I feel about tax abatement, but I definitely am open to have the dialogue. I agree that we are in need of affordable housing seriously in the city of Paterson. A lot of people are struggling. And let me just say, Eva she said it, a lot of people, they go into the food pantry because the amount of money that they make, they can't afford it to even put food on the table. We're going through a very difficult time in the city of Paterson. Listen, let's pray and let's work together, because you know we're going through a very tough time in the city of Paterson. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes, and I'm waiting.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Mims.
So I have pondered many times, and my prayers and my quiet moments, why am I here? What is the purpose that I ran for office in 2018 and then ran for re-election with all of the hurtful things that were done and said against me? It was to fight for the people and this community. And I've always stood firmly on that from my very first election in 2014 till now for the community. I don't do it for show. Anything I say, you can Oprah it, you can check it, emails and all that. You will see it validated and substantiated as evidence to what I speak. I saw the email that came through that is being talked about tonight from Corporation Counsel, and I'm going to put it on record. I am not a council member that agreed to that. And I think there needs to be a process. If anything is going out on behalf of the city council, which there are 9 of us, there should be something that's sent out to us as a body where we can sign it, agree to it, disagree to it, and then it could be sent out to say, majority agreed or 5 agreed or whatever agreed. But I just find it disheartening that a letter is sent out on behalf of the entire body, which includes myself, that I never had a conversation about. I never agreed to it. I was never questioned or anything. On this council 3 years ago, I requested that a legal committee be created on this council to make sure that there was accountability and transparency. And it is still in place. I've been the chair, and this year I was chosen not to chair, which doesn't matter. I'm still on the committee. As Councilwoman Cotton knows, we're the only one that show up anyway. So it didn't matter if I'm the chair or not. I'm still gonna hold the administration and myself accountable to do what's right by the people. But I wanted it duly noted on the record and to this family. I've said it from the very beginning, you've heard me. It hasn't been a show. When I first got the call, you know, I reached out because I got the call and I called you immediately. And I've been the same. I haven't sat here and said something to make the family like me or dislike me. I haven't said, because I don't know where he is. I saw the video. Everyone saw it. The entire world saw it. It was on the local news everywhere that we all saw the video. And there are a lot of questions that we have, has been stated on this side and throughout the community. But the letter that was done on behalf of the council, Councilwoman Dr. Lalisa Mims, yes, I am a doctor. You're not. Councilwoman Dr. Lalisa Mims. The letter that was written, let me make it clear. Councilwoman Reverend Dr. Lalisa Mims, the letter that was written, I had no idea about the conversation or this information. I was not polled. I was not questioned or asked, do you agree? And I just want it on the record because everything has to be documented because these meetings can be Oprah'd. These meetings can be used in litigations. These meetings can be used and we can be called into question in court. And I want it duly on record that Councilwoman Lalisa Mims, I don't care who takes notes and try to take jabs after I stated it. They could do whatever they like. But the facts are the facts. I said what I said. I am praying for this family. And I don't want my name written or included in anything that I was not a part of or agreed upon to do. There is nothing that I've never said to anyone, do this or whatever. Whether you feel is right or wrong, I deserve a conversation. As an elected official, I deserve it from the administration, someone calling me and saying, we want to do something on behalf, do you agree or disagree? Let me respond. If I say no, then say 8 people said it or 7 people, whatever that number is. But please, from this point on, I am asking this administration, please do not include my name. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. My name on any literature that I am not in agreement with or I have not stated. And then to Mark, he's gone. It's sad that Silk City is not playing. You have saved many lives, and I pray that it comes back next year. Affordable housing, Mr. Rucker, you're absolutely correct. Ms. Wahida, I agree. I agree. I'm telling you, it is nobody but God that placed me here. That's why I don't have to worry about having a whole entourage of people or a bodyguard. When I walk out the building, I walk in the building by myself, and I walk out by myself, and I'm in the community by myself. Because I'm born and raised in Paterson, from the 4th ward. I've lived in every ward of the city practically. And it's not about a fear tactic. I'm here to serve the people. And in this community, Paterson, you're watching. My phone is on fire, so I want to say to the community, I'm not on the phone because I'm texting someone. The community is disgusted. They are disgusted. I can show you. This is the community. They are disgusted at what they're witnessing that's happening to the family. They don't know what's happening. They don't know where he is, but just what has the treatment to this family. Imagine that's your brother. Imagine that's your uncle. Imagine that's your father. It's a sad case. We all should show a level of compassion. We should be in prayer, and we should please, 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 whatever we do, let's show that to this family. We owe it to them. They don't know it's been 176 days, I believe, 176 days. They looking for their family member. And so we have to be in a place where we show compassion for them. We have to pray for them. And Councilman Jackson, keep speaking truth to power. Keep saying what you got to say. Ain't no bodyguard, ain't no bully gonna stop you. There is Robert Rules of Orders, and when you're talking, you can call the question, call the order. You sitting over there, Councilwoman Mims got your back right here. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk. My vote is yes.
Councilman Odin, we're closing the public portion. Your vote is next to close the public portion.
All right, DSS family, before the election, I stood with you, if you remember, recall, when Commissioner Teague was representing this creative protest. I felt this is creative, and I was standing with you and sitting right here.
Stop, be quiet, don't do it, don't do it.
So
Please,
sitting,
please respect the chambers, please. Please respect the chambers. Please.
Ma'am,
Please respect the chambers. Please don't yell.
Please don't hit us with bullshit. Hit us with facts like we are to you. That's all I'm saying. You ain't gonna speak bullshit on this family. Speak facts. Don't do it. You don't.
and
You're gonna speak.
Please.
Speak up word.
Please.
Speak up word. Don't do it.
sitting right here.
You don't have the microphone now. Why you guys keep yelling?
I'm still gonna be heard. I am the mic. I don't even, I mean, for what? I don't even put my name there.
You cannot speak.
I can't speak.
You
You're not my father, you're not my mother.
respect the chambers. Please respect the chamber. Or I'll have you removed. Please respect the chambers. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But respect the chambers. Come. You got. Respect the chambers. I'm gonna suspend the meeting now, Madam Clerk, for 5 minutes.
Council President.
Can I do that, Corporation Council? Please respect. Please.
Councilman, it's not on.
Council President, Council
Mr.
President.
Ming, I still
we
don't
on.
have any volume. Councilman Udine, could you please
vote on
for
closing the
to
public
close the
portion?
public portion?
Turn it on.
I just
Mr. Ming, the mic is still not working.
No, he.
Yes, it's working now.
It's working now.
So,
Councilman Udine, it's your vote.
I didn't
We are
even
closing
finish
the
my
public
statement,
portion.
but because of the situation that created, and people, what I'm saying is I was standing with you, and here sitting does not mean against you. And what I'm trying to say is, and there's a platform, the professional platform that I want to use, I want you to hear me, that if you stage it like this, that you are against us, and we are against you, let me finish it. That's the state look like. It should not be like this. I'm talking to each other like not only you, but among us as well, the council members. We should respect each other. We may have disagreement, but let's hear each other. What's happening is we're degenerating this creative protest into violence. That's what's happening, and that should not happen. No, I'm not saying, ma'am. I'm not able to even talk. I'm not even able to talk, ma'am. And I'm feeling bad. And my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez, Mr. Councilman Velez, we're closing the public portion. Your vote.
To my colleagues, before this letter was drafted, there was somebody up there, I think it's Melinda, taking notes of the meeting. And the meeting was televised. I recall about almost a month ago that it was brought to this council by the family that there was family members in this side. In that point, I was shocked because I don't know who's a family member from the officer. Then another meeting came up, and that's when Councilman Jackson stated, or you stated that was cousin of Councilman Jackson. Hold on, sir. That's when I call the floor, Council President, that's when I called the floor and I requested that the case will transfer to Bergen County, okay? And you corporate counsel, asked the question on the floor and everybody was sitting here and you asked, Council President, and that's the will of the council. And we all look at each other and say yes. That's why you draft the letter. So it's in the tape, it's in the tapes. Go back to the record. Now, let me tell you something, all right? I will respect everybody's profession. I respect my colleague that she has a doctorate in theology. We went to the same seminar, same teachers, etc., etc. But I'm not going to preach the word in underwears. I'm not going to say something here today.
You
and
can't
then
beat up every woman, but let's cut
I'm
it out.
speaking.
Can't beat up every woman.
I'm speaking, Council President.
Councilman Velez, please wrap it up.
I'm speaking, and Council President, you took a jab at me. I'm not going to take it personal. You making every issue in this council as a racial issue, and you have to stop that.
Councilman Velez, please.
Now,
Councilman Velez, please.
Council President.
Once again,
Council President.
I am speaking, Council President.
No, he called me racist.
I am speaking. When she addressed me, I didn't spoke.
That needs to be addressed, Council President.
I never addressed her.
It needs to be addressed, Council President.
I'm doing my free
Council
speech.
President, it needs to be
addressing
addressed.
my freedom speech.
I take issue with being called a racist. Council President.
Council President.
Council President, that's defamation of character.
Council President.
I take issue with it. I take issue with be called a racist.
So take me to court. You like to do that.
You don't have money.
So
Council President,
I have an issue.
Council President?
I have an issue.
This is what we have.
You have to address it.
This is what we have,
it has
ladies
to
and
be
gentlemen.
addressed.
So the facts are in that letter.
Councilman,
Okay.
please wrap it up. Please vote.
I will
We're
wrap
closing
it
the
up.
public portion.
Out of order.
I
Disrespectful.
didn't say that she was a racist,
Yes, you
ladies
did.
and gentlemen.
Yes,
I
you
say every
That-
issue she want to turn it
That-
racial.
When did I do
Total
that?
different.
No, that's
Total
not true.
different.
Councilman Velez, please vote.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those viewers out there, the same text we receive, we. Listen, I live in Paterson. I live in Paterson. I'm not afraid of no one in Paterson. So, I'm just doing the exercise as a legislator. All right? And you guys know where I stand with this family. All right? Now, I'm not here.
Councilman
I'm
Velez,
not
can you
here.
vote?
I'm trying, Council
Please,
President.
please.
I'm trying. So, ladies and gentlemen, good night. My vote is yes.
Thank you.
Good night.
Councilman
Good night.
Davila, we are closing the public portion since you joined us. May I have your vote, please? We're closing the public portion. Your vote, please.
Can you vote, please?
The only thing that I am going to say, because there's been a lot said, and I don't have to be sitting here to hear what every council member or what's going on, because there's TVs throughout the entire city hall. But I'm not here to have a conversation with anyone because we're closing, and there is no rebuttal or back and forth. The only statement that I am going to make, because we all have to, speak truth. And this family has been coming here religiously week after week after week. And you all know what every council member discusses here and what they say. The letter that was requested by Councilman Velez probably over a month ago, okay? And it's been fully, every council member got a copy of the letter in an email sent by Corporation Counsel. This didn't just happen. That's all I'm gonna put on record. You can Oprah emails for you to see, and even Oprah the emails of people who opened the email and read it, all right? Because the problem here is that it's unfortunate, but this is nothing against the family. It's when we sit here, we have to. So with that said, Council President, I have the floor, Council President. All right. So the only thing I wanted to put on record is that each council member here received the letter that came from the legal department. Each council member. No one responded back to say, I don't want to be part of it, do not include me. That's all I'm going to say. With that said, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Mr. President? Closing the public portion, sir.
I'm not going to address anything now, okay? I'll take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back, and we'll continue with the meeting. My vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote, Mr. President, just wait 1 second, please. The vote is 8 in favor, 1 absent. The public portion is now closed. Mr. President, we had an executive session for 8:30. It was advertised. It's now 9 o'clock.
When we come back, Madam, go to the exec.
Thank you.
Councilman Velez, we'll resume the meeting. Sure. Yeah, Madam Clerk, we do have 5 council members. Councilman Velez. Okay. Yeah, we'll get that one.
Is Mr. Ming there?
We're live?
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll resume our meeting tonight. Now we'll go to executive session. Madam Clerk, we'll move into the executive session, item 19 through 14. Can you read them on the record?
Council President, do we have to make a motion to go into executive session?
No, I'll read
Afterward.
them first.
Okay.
I'll read the items first.
Okay.
So the items are 9 through 14, and I'll read individual. Item number 9, resolution authorizing an executive session in or adjoining the City Council chambers to address a new agreement with AFSCME 3474 DPW Blue Supervisors Administration Resolution 22433. Item number 10, resolution authorizing an executive session in or adjoining the City Council chambers to address a new agreement with AFSCME 3474A White Collar Supervisors Labor Union Administration Resolution 22434. Item number 11, resolution authorizing an executive or closed session in or adjoining the City Council chambers to address a new agreement with ASFCME 430 Health Administration Resolution 22435. Item number 12, resolution authorizing an executive or closed session in or adjoining the City Council chambers to address a new agreement with AFSCME 2903 Paterson Library Union Administration Resolution 22436. Item number 13, resolution authorizing an executive or closed session in or adjoining the City Council chambers to address a new agreement with AFSCME 3474B Paterson Library Supervisors Union Administration Resolution 22437. And item number 14, resolution authorizing an executive or closed session in or adjoining the City Council chambers to address a new agreement with Paterson Firefighters Association Administration Resolution 22438. May I have a motion in a second?
Move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilwoman Davila and Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, for executive session.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call to enter into executive session for items 9 through 14. Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Udine.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
I know the president's gonna announce that we're gonna be out of the viewers out there, but we're gonna come back, and my vote is yes.
Mr. President,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
the vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Items 9 and through 14 is now open for executive session. Anyone who is in the chamber who is not associated with any of this matter may ask to vacate the chambers, and we will, after we completed the executive session, we'll have everyone to come back. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you,
welcome,
Mr.
sir.
Ming.